Hi, this is Joseph Miko with 7MT, 7 Minutes of Truth, where discovery and convenience collide. Now, for this first episode, the significance of 7, I'm going to take some time to let you know why 7 is the chosen time limit for these videos, besides for the obvious reason that 7 is God's number. So many people won't take the time to go to church because they say, the pastor speaks for like 45 minutes and I've only got like 7 minutes. Well, while only a few minutes is too short of a time to get across an important point, 7 minutes is just the right amount of time. So, let's do First of all, 7 appears 391 times in the New King James Version of the Bible. In Hebrew, it's the word Shiva, and in Greek, it's the word heptah. Here's the cool thing. In Genesis, it appears the most time for the Old Testament, and it appears the most times in the New Testament in Revelations, the last book of the Bible. And so it's the same with God. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He's the first and the last. Here are 7 words that remind me the most of 7, and it would do you good to remember these. The first one is rest. Rest, because God created the earth and everything in it in 6 days, and on the 7th day, he rested and declared the day holy. Also, Noah and his family sailed the flood waters for 5 months and came to rest on Mount Ararat on the 17th day of the 7th month. And that month's name means endurance. Finally, there are 7 years before a Sabbath year, and on that year, the land is allowed to rest. No one is allowed to plant, and no one is allowed to harvest. Second, 7 is a number of redemption. Redemption because on that 7th Sabbath year, all debts had to be released, and all slaves had to be set free. Now, wouldn't that be cool these days? Also, if you were unclean because, say, you had leprosy, or you gave birth to a son, or you had a relative that died, you'd have to wait 7 days before you could be completely clean again and welcome back into the community. Finally, Proverbs says that God will rescue us from 7 dangers. Of course, he'll rescue us from more than that, but it's just to show us his redemption. Third, 7 is a number of restoration. Naaman, who had leprosy, had to wash in the Jordan River 7 times before he could be restored. Also, Jacob, when he saw his brother Esau, whom he had tricked, bowed before him 7 times in humility and in repentance to show that he was sorry for what he had done. Jesus also says that we are to forgive others 7 times 70 times. And if someone asks us for forgiveness 7 times a day, we are to give it to them, no matter what. Finally, every 7th Sabbath year, the next year was called the year of Jubilee. And on that year, all land had to be returned to the original owner. So, it was of restoration. Fourth, 7 is a number of retribution. God said that he would punish Israel 7 times for not repenting. And Miriam, who mocked Moses in front of all the people, was banished for 7 days from the camp. Also, when Cain killed Abel, God put a mark across his forehead, saying that anyone who killed him would be avenged 7 times. And so a guy named Lamech, later down the road, said, if Cain is avenged 7 times, then I am avenged 7 times 70 times. Guess what? He lived to be 777 years old. Royalty is also a number describing 7. Royalty because David, who was a king, was the 7th son of Jesse, and he reigned in Hebron for 7 years. The next king, Solomon, built a temple for the Lord. It took 7 years. And Jehoash became king at the age of 7. That's pretty young. But if you're powered by God, all good to you. Sixth, 7 is a number of righteousness. Righteousness because when you were ordinated to become a priest, it took 7 days, and you were sprinkled 7 times with the blood of a bullock. Also, God says that if a righteous man falls 7 times, he will be lifted again. And God himself, who is the most righteous of all, has 7 eyes looking over the whole world, a 7-fold spirit, and 7 stars in his right hand. Finally, 7 is a number of revelation. John writes to the 7 churches in Asia about 3 different beasts, each having 7 heads that blasphemed God. But when the 7 angels blew the 7 trumpets, the 7 thunders declare a secret that we aren't even allowed to know until that awesome day. Finally, 7 and 3 have a lot to do with each other. For instance, Job had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he had 3 comforters that sat with him for 7 days. And while David did reign in Hebron for 7 years, he also reigned in Israel for 33. So what's the connection between 7 and 3? If you have an idea, comment. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Subscribe, because every Saturday I'm going to have a new one of these videos to encourage you who do not have time for church but want God's encouragement in your life. I want to bless you. Thank you for watching. And hey, today I am 7,707 days old. So I want to celebrate that and give thanks to God for bringing me to do this on this day. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. God bless you. This is 7 Minutes of Truth.